It is 4 o'clock. And I think we are ready to call to order this meeting of the Economic Vitality Subcommittee.
Thank you.
In front of us are the minutes, and last week's minutes for approval. If anybody would like to addend them, now's the time, or we can motion to approve them as submitted. Motion to approve.
Second from Nancy.
And a second from Nancy. I know.
Hi, I'm dog sitting, so I didn't want to come downtown. I'm sorry. I have to feed her
That's-
dinner as soon as we're done.
Still wet and icy, you're good. We've got Mary Margaret connection also. And I think, was someone else calling in?
I don't think so. If something pops up that's nice trying to get in, let me know if I miss it. Okay, so this next thing I've got on the agenda was something that I didn't get sent out with it because I had to work on it today. This was I'm going back to the 627th 7th Avenue. Because I had presented you guys or showed you guys the design work from UNC Greensboro last month, and I thought we were going to get a facade application for it. But it's been, and I've tried to write it all out because it's been a little bit of a shuffling of stuff. So basically, I've been mostly working with the tenant Judy at 627 7th Avenue East, and she had approached me back in August. And so then when she was looking at the overall building and the awning, I was like, well, if we're going to do something for this building, I'd like to try doing it for the whole building because it's got this awning that goes across everything. And so then I said, let's work with UNC Greensboro on seeing what they come up with. I was talking with the landlord on it. And but I told Judy that so she doesn't get delayed in her work, that anything that she's doing can be a part of the match towards a facade grant. So that way, because we've said before, like work done already could be considered the match if needed, because I didn't want to delay her because of the UNC Greensboro design work. So anyway, I met with her and with the awning company after last time to get some quotes on individual fabric awnings. But in the meantime, I don't believe that the landlord is going to have an interest in taking down the awning that goes all the way across. And I don't think it can be taken apart in chunks. So that way, if one wanted to have a smaller awning, so it's going to have to be kind of an all or nothing kind of thing. And I don't think any of the other tenants are going to be motivated to put in for a match for it. And so anyway, I don't want that to penalize Judy, the tenant, who's already put an investment into it with the thought that we would be able to fund a bigger facade project, because she did. It's not submitting the work after the fact for her fault. It's kind of for my fault of trying to do a bigger project for it. And so I've got the cost of what she's already done to the space at this $16,000 just for exterior. Hey. And then I've got the cost of the different awnings with that. And so basically, I just wanted to see if we'd like to consider doing some retroactive funding for that, even though we said we didn't want to do retroactive funding, because I feel like it's not, I don't want to penalize her for me trying to do a bigger project for it. So I included pictures. These are the before. And I met with her and told her, I said, moving these electrical boxes would be good. And we talked about the windows, and she talked about painting because the bricks all, there's different types of brick. And so this was before on the side. And so then they did, this mural that we have here. And they relocated the electrical because there was, lines that were going across and all over. So that made a big improvement to that. And these windows, they covered them because they were structural. They weren't ones that could be there were like bars in the windows, not like decorative. And this one here, it was cut, it was bars that were cut. And so she had an engineer look at it and said, like, don't touch these bars, just leave them there. So they covered them instead. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that to y'all and see what your thoughts were on doing something retroactively for this to not penalize them for that bigger project.
So. We'll have to back up a step.
Mhm.
I slept since I,
I think the
this is one larger building, right?
Mhm.
It's one property owner and one building.
right,
Mhm.
tenant that's doing. it.
Isn't our, I mean, we don't have, our grant set up to do tenant by tenant
No, we do.
in a larger building.
Mhm.
The goal
Yeah.
would be nice to do the whole building though. That was what they initially.
Yeah,
wanted.
so
We put a limit on that because what maybe we sidestep this. What I would be adverse to is if, I think, what are we, $6,000 on a max contribution?
Mhm.
You know, 666
Mhm.
on the same building, I have a problem with.
Mhm.
You know, it's just like Linda
Mhm.
over there, right? So,
We have done it before, like with, like Matthew, when this might have been before you, I don't remember who. Yeah, so we had done those as individual tenants, basically to give them, because he had, different addresses. And, while I was on here, I can't remember if we had done those individually on, some of his or not, but we've done that before as for individual, because they're all individual storefronts. And so that's what I was even thinking with, if we were able to do it for the full awning, was basically maximizing the match to be able to get a better full storefront with it. So that's something we have precedent for, of doing it for individual tenants.
The big awning though was outside the scope of what they were able to do. And so Judy, the one applying, just went ahead with the upfits for her space. And so now she's asking, what is the actual request yet?
Of course, she spent $16,000, so she would want there would be no reason why she wouldn't want to have asked for a grant for $6,000. But I'm also okay if we want to propose a smaller amount as a retroactive, because she wasn't able to do the work proposed from the UNC Greensboro.
This is the first request I think that we've had, formally this year. We've had a couple of interests, but she's actually done the work. And it's done and it looks better. So I would be okay approving that, but is there any other interest or any limits on us right now?
No, we've got funds that's be able to do. I think we have in general about $30,000 a year that we're putting towards the grants. And that's also an amount that can go higher if we've got the projects for it, because we've got the funds available. I would just say if we wanted to peel out any particular things and say we were matching one part versus another to do a smaller amount, that's fine too.
Mhm.
The part where there was an existing painted wall with the window, and then that was repainted, that's good. I do have a little problem with the painting of the unpainted brick up the front. It's just not a good policy.
And that is not in that we do have of not painting unpainted brick.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know how, I mean, it's become weird or hard to parse that out. Since it's done, but, moving the box, that's good. The other stuff, I mean, I want to be supportive. But you also want to, have a defensible decision and not,
That we can replicate.
Yeah, and not have an example that you have to explain. So
Yeah.
that's rough.
Yeah. So we don't do signs.
Hmm.
That's 1,126.
Exterior window repair, I think, I agree, that looks good, and that's kind of the thing that we're looking for, so 2,000.
And that's
Yeah.
reversible.
Mhm.
So that's 2,000. So 2,000. So the first one, exterior window replacement painting and materials. So that's one that we feel is fitting.
I think that fits for sure.
Exterior signs we won't do. Gutter repair and replacement. I'd say.
That falls under
There's that.
review, yeah. Mhm.
Exterior building painting, that's kind of one that we could put as a gray area, 34, let's see. General exterior repairs,
What do they do to the parking lot, front of buildings?
so that one's not really divided very well, because that probably has. Because the brick and the piping is stuff that would be things that we would fund.
I see what they did.
But it's not, but she's got it all combined. The power line repair, I think that's definitely,
Mhm. That looks better. It's a perfect thing to clean up the street.
so if we just consider the window,
Mhm.
gutter, power line,
What? By power line, you're talking about the
where it relocated the,
panel?
yeah,
Yeah,
because it had a,
connection there, and they moved it over to the side of the building to get it off the street. Was there, now it's over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the meter, yeah,
Well,
and the connection.
I understand that shouldn't have been hers.
Should have been Duke, right?
That should, no. That
No, that's
should have
not
been-
landlord.
Should have been the property.
Yeah.
It's,
She is not to go the other side of the meter
mhm,
with box.
yeah,
That's a no-no. And either Duke should have dealt with that or the land property owner.
yeah, I don't know if she, went through her landlord, but she just paid for it. I'm not exactly sure on that. Nancy, did you have something?
Yes, considering all of this and the fact that, you know, the delays weren't all her part. She did follow the requirements to a good part. I mean, you know, it was spent out in time. I guess I'm not talking clearly, but I'd like to propose that we give her $4,000 towards the work she's done. Just looking at the items you've called out, I'm kind of ballparking it around $4,000. That would be a fair amount to give her, considering all the efforts that she put forth.
Thanks, Nancy.
That's where I was leaning.
is that second,
Okay.
Big John, you got something.
Yeah, you know, the mural bothers me because I thought we had some restrictions on those things that,
I think.
replicating what was already there was all right, but not stuff that was new.
Mhm.
We don't have, like, the city doesn't have, they're like a way to regulate murals, especially because that's not in the historic district.
Only if it's in the.
Yeah, where we do have the ability to say on it is
Grant money.
the grant money. So that kind of gets,
I mean, technically, where we're at
mhm,
in the next few months, right? The mural would have been spun out of this
mhm,
at a separate cost and sent to the art
mhm.
council. And they would have come up with some funds from someplace to help put it up. You know, she went ahead and did it. I like it, you know.
It's a nice-
that's
Better than-
good.
It's also what people do often to hide. We did it at White Duck.
Yeah.
To hide a
Better than-
window,
Yeah. Mhm.
Bars on the way.
put a mural of the duck, because there was an old window there that we could not match the brick. It just didn't exist anymore. So
penalize her for having done it, but I mean, if this were 6 months
Yeah.
from now, we'd do it a little differently.
And
Yeah.
Everly has their new art policy, public
Yeah.
art policy.
Yeah, I
That's-
don't want to penalize people for delays that or our processes just aren't there.
She's being active, and that's good.
And we can articulate what it's for and what it's not for, right?
Yes.
Again, this is for the record.
Yeah, yeah.
Grant money wouldn't be for the
Right,
mural, I agree, that doesn't really fit.
Yeah, so
We've done murals in the past, but this does kind of
yeah,
outside the scope of
yeah, right.
what we like to see.
Well, I mean, in general, and this is the discussion part, because we have a motion and a second, so we're in discussion.
Mhm.
I'm not opposed to what's been proposed.
Okay.
I hear John's point. I think.
I mean, that doesn't change what.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good asterisk, so looking
It's a
forward.
message. It's part of the messaging, I think.
Yeah.
It's important. Yep.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Mhm.
Oh, sorry, I'm stepping on your.
We need to ask for more specification on that general exterior repairs to get to our 4,000 if we're doing the.
I think that we can get that just because I think that it would be pretty easy to peel out money for, because the brick and the piping, I think it probably be able to cover a pretty good chunk of that, because it would be 2,000. It would only be about $1,000 from my math. That'd be coming out of that to get to the 4,000. So I think we can, pull out, which I could ask her to.
Since the mural painting is in that grouped in there. Yeah, I don't know if you'd want it to be more specific than that.
Which I guess she's got, and I don't even include it in the math here, this exterior building painting here,
Yes, that's separate from.
which that would be, I guess, just the base painting on it. Within the mural probably went on top of the base, but I'm not for sure on that.
Are accepting that or not?
They are not.
I don't know. That's,
I propose are not,
or not what?
except in the mural.
Yeah.
Painting.
So should we say then up to $4,000 based on the determination on the mural cost?
The mural is included in that exterior painting.
She's got it separated from, yeah.
No, it's actually,
It's in the eight.
it's called out
Yeah.
separately in the 8,700, and
Mhm.
that's what I'm questioning
Oh, I
because
see.
the mural is the bulk,
Of that.
probably 90% of what was repainted on the building.
Line above.
Right, yeah, I know. That's what I had the same question.
Yeah.
And in the future, if they wanted to get funding for a mural specifically and just that, if they came to us with a proposal before they did anything, is that the sort of thing that we would want to, that we would approve for the grant?
A mural?
Yeah.
That would eventually be that's separate.
Yeah.
Something separate. We just
Okay.
aren't there yet on that.
She appears three
Right.
different.
I would,
It's.
I would give her some feedback
Mhm.
and ask for a restructured
Okay.
I'd be fine with that. I bet she would be too, yeah.
for our records and say, strip the mural out and the exterior building.
Mhm.
And strip out the signs, because we don't do signs.
Yeah.
The parking,
So I can ask her what to give some specification on this general exterior. Let me just double check to make sure that she,
And our goal would be consistency then. We just want to approve the same thing, apply for, have people apply for the same type of thing and
Yeah.
do the same kind of work across the town.
let me double check to make sure she didn't. She is a very communicative person. And so there was a lot of back and forth, so it's fair, let me just double check to make sure. Yeah, she did not split that out. Okay, so do we want to do it as up to $4,000 pin based off of,
Well, should we say the amount or not? I mean, it's a bit of a leading question. You know, we present it. I'm not trying to slow it down further. I'm just saying.
That's up to you.
It seems a little,
We
sort of like giving some kid allowance, going, okay, but
Yeah.
don't spend it on all candy. Or whatever, I'd rather know what they're gonna spend,
Yeah,
can you break it down, tell us what you need, with accepting those
yeah,
areas and we say no. I mean,
Well, I think there's enough numbers in here that we're, agreed on,
yeah,
that will carry $4,000.
I think it would, yes, I think it would. I mean, that part
yeah.
doesn't bother me as much as the fact that painting appears in three different things.
Well, I was actually about to mention that because I'm like, she put exterior window repair replacement and then she mentions painting in that line item.
Okay.
Is she's painting the window? Is that what she's talking about?
front.
Yeah, I can,
Yeah, and if you take any of the ones with painting out, now you are at a number less than 4,000.
yeah.
Yeah, it
What-
is mentioned 3
What we've
times.
done before too is, like giving it an approval for a certain amount and then with just staff confirming on some, just so that way we don't have to push it out for another month.
Yeah.
And Nancy, did you have,
Can't we give you tentative approval?
yeah,
now,
that's what we've
and then you
done.
just work it out with her?
I don't think we need to tell her the $4,000, but we need to ask her to break it out in more detail. And I think we'll be able to pull the items aside that add up to 4,000. If they come to 3,500, let's give her the 3,500, but up to $4,000 based on the detail she can provide back. But I don't think we need to come back another month to it. I think we can make this proposal at this point and move forward.
Did she provide you with receipts of these items or?
She had some, and we don't give the grants until we have a receipt of payment. And so that's what we'd have, like, we wouldn't give her the check. Like we, typically what happens is we'll approve it and then they do the work and then we'll submit what they've paid. And then I write them a check back. So it wouldn't write them a check until, no matter what, until we've got the proof of payment.
No, this has already been paid.
Yeah, so she'd have the receipt.
So she just needs to
Yeah,
give us a detailed.
And this is the kind of format that we like, right? We want them to come to us with a number and a request.
that's typical is because we ideally would want them to come before they start doing the work.
Mm.
And she had completed the application, but I was like, well, let's wait and let's see what we can do for the whole building. So that was me on that. It just didn't quite work out how I'd hoped it did, and it took a while. So we had the motion and the second for $4,000 towards the side grant. Do we want to amend that?
So like I said, this is the format that they're gonna come to us with. I feel like we were ballparking that number based off of what she provided us here. Like my question is for the discussion and approval process, is that how we want it to be? Do we want to base our grant off of like what they come to us with? Which we kind of, I don't know, maybe reward somebody for doing more work or maybe reward them for embellishing. No. Is it easier for us to talk about it this way? Is it easier for us to like come up with a number ourselves and say, here's your limit,
Yeah,
figure it out?
well, maybe the other side of the same coin is maybe we say for these things,
Mhm.
A, B, and C. And then say, can we get a number from her for those things, So we're not saying any number, because I think what Nancy was saying originally
Mhm.
was, that's a good faith effort on our part to help a chunk of this. Now we've broken that down.
Mhm.
We don't want to say an amount. We want to say for what things.
Yeah.
And then find out what that amount is.
I
Okay,
think that's a good move, yeah.
so
And then we could do that the next time too. If somebody comes, we say, here's these things, and then we do the same process, come to us with a number. And then we come back to them with, here's what we can do. Here's how we can help.
So this is just my suggestion of an amended motion. Tell me if I'm understanding it right. So an amended motion to
Have her come back with line item totals for exterior window repair, gutter repair, general exterior repairs, not including mural painting and beautification,
Parking.
parking. And the power line is okay.
removing signage and mural. That's the only two things, signage and mural is the only two things, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
and then maybe ask her, if she's got some confusion in the exterior building painting. I mean, how much is that is not mural, right? And not brick.
Right.
And other than the mural, I don't think she painted any brick, but I might be wrong.
Yeah, because I think the painted brick, it looks like from the pictures, that's just the mural for beauty, like the painting, I think looks like it's just on that side of the building.
Yes, that's the way it looked to me.
Yeah. Okay,
And this is probably gonna be typical of what we can expect now is they'll come to us, here's all the work I've done, here's a big pile of it. We say, okay, here's what the grant can cover, and then they come back with specifically.
they would come to us with their estimates.
Yeah.
And so then we'd say we'd find
Beforehand.
$1,000 or whatever towards these things. We won't give, like, if they're, like, say if their total's $10,000, but then 2,000 for signs, then we'd say we'd fund up to matching $8,000.
And then exclude
Yeah.
this, include that, and then they come back to us with a itemized thing, we can approve it.
And do we want that to come back to this committee?
So.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. And like I said, this is the first one we've had this year. Is there any other interest? Anyone else doing anything?
Trying to think of it. I've talked to a few last year and then they never came back around. This is the only one that's come
Mine
to,
may come.
yeah, at some point.
I gotta go before historic
Yeah.
meeting and that's in February. I mean, that's this month, at the end of the month,
Okay.
but it's a process.
Yeah. I haven't had any other ones who've asked me
That
recently.
one? Grant proposal, grant's still there?
Yeah, we had a motion. Do we make
Well,
Do we need
it
it?
sounded like maybe that we were kind of directing you
Yeah.
to go back that didn't really require. a
Okay,
motion
so just
until they come back with
yeah.
the final amount of the specs.
okay, so then that means that the motion is-
Maybe Nancy would just withdraw it.
Nancy, you okay with that?
Yes, I'm okay with that.
Thank you.
And did you did you request to take out the parking as well? I know they got thrown around a couple times.
Thank you. So just, let me just double check again. So removing signs,
And exterior building painting.
split mural
Yeah.
from exterior painting and remove and parking. Okay, thank y'all. This was helpful. I've been trying to going back and forth with trying to figure out how to handle this because I felt kind of bad that she was out of it, even though it wasn't her fault.
And every time we do, it's a little bit of a learning experience.
Yeah.
So that's the question I want to keep asking. Is
Yeah.
how do we want this to look?
Yeah.
What's easiest?
Yeah. You're only under 40, Jamie. We're not expecting.
So when people apply for this, is there any kind of number range listed or is it just?
Yeah, we put up to $6,000 match.
Got you on the work.
And we've got some, I guess I kind of didn't realize, I kind of neglected because we haven't really had any come to this committee because we've moved them over. So a couple of y'all were part of both of them. So we do have some specifics of what type of things it can go towards. Exterior, but then also we've added in, like rear facades could be a part of it. We added in a couple other things. I don't have it off the top of my head. And then it used to be $3,000 match, but then we bumped it up to 6,000 because $3,000 wasn't much in the grand scheme of things. And we had a couple other requirements with 7th Avenue, especially further down. That one has less regulatory because it's not in like how Main Street has to go through the HBC and all of that.
That's the main goal of the grant. It's historic preservation.
Yeah.
Buildings and facades.
Okay. That was all I really had for today.
That was most of it. We moved the breakfast, the business breakfast got rescheduled because of the snow. That is now Thursday of this week. Still time if you want to come.
Yep. Mini Batch is gonna cater. Black Bear will have coffee.
I might have done something wrong with that second RSVP link. For some reason, it didn't work.
Oh, that's okay. It could have been something I did wrong. Up to. That's all right. Okay. We did, so one of our panelists was gonna be Joe with Oklawaha. He cannot be there. But I didn't ask anyone else. Yeah, it was Jenny from the Emporium.
Yeah.
It was gonna be Joe from Oklawaha, but then he's on his honeymoon this week, so. So that was not an option there, and I.
Couldn't just like do a call in. Is that anymore?
On some more tropical. Yep, yeah, Caroline will moderate, and I have put together some draft questions. I just didn't get around to asking anybody else with the rescheduling and all of that. Everybody being kind of.
Sort of more information, we could ask them how they would like to see us incentivize,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of just not Judy.
Jenny.
Jenny, yeah, it's kind of just her right now.
And she's gonna have some of her numbers on like how she did during the holiday events, like just because to me, that's the incentive more than anything is.
She's a retail representation, so that's kind of what she wants to do too. I
Yeah.
think she did well during the Christmas tree lighting and stuff.
Yeah, and Caroline, even though she's not gonna be answering questions, she'll be
Or
kind of a Main Street representative too, as a business.
more let her express her opinion.
Caroline, the shrinking vine.
Yeah, John, this should be good.
I don't know, I feel like she seems much more calm now that she's not on the board.
That's all right. Well, if anybody else has anything, we can talk about, but if not, we can motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
Thanks, Nancy Lyle.
I got a puppy to feed now. See you later.